Hello, my minions, and welcome back to the Vortex campaign for the Tomb Kings under Arkan the Black. At least, for the time being. So, we had no one join us from the last episode, in which case those positions have been filled by NPCs. But do not worry, my friends. At the end of this episode, new positions will be listed. Perhaps even a Lord position. So be sure to watch the video, and at the end, decide on the position that you would like to take. And it will also be listed in the description below. Remember, all you need to do is simply comment on the video, listing the name for your desired position, as well as whatever name you wish for that position. Now, let us get started. As you can see, there is a glowing blue orb here in the Vulture Mountain. That is because the Book of Nagash is located there. Specifically, the 7th Book of Nagash, which provides 10 canopic jars per turn, as well as increases our research rate by 10%. We need to take that book. So let us begin. Alright, so we approach the dwarven forces that hold the Book of Nagash. We are still a little away from them though, but we've managed to corner their main army. Now it is a matter of seeing how well our forces do. We have a lot of crypt ghouls, but they're not going to help us too much against the dwarves, though hopefully their debuffs will help. We have skeleton warriors, again, nothing too special, same with my spearmen. My archers might be able to do some damage, but they actually do horrible armor-piercing damage, so that is not going to be helpful either. Our main force that's going to help us here is our Ushabti. They are armor-piercing and anti-infantry, so they are probably the best to go up against the dwarves. And then finally we have some carrion here. They will help us against the dwarven artillery. We also have aid coming from Arkan the Black's forces. They will be reinforcing us soon, so let's get started. So as we can see, they have bolt throwers as their main force of artillery here. Actually, their only force of artillery. So that might be useful for us. We'll let most of Arkan's forces filter on in, and actually keep the main force away for a moment. At least out of range of that bolt thrower. Now, the range in our Casket of Souls is 440, the Bolt Thrower is 340, which means that we do have the advantage with that unit. Alright, let's put you guys together. We'll make a force missile front. Alright, position them there. We'll speed it up, let them come and join us, and then we will send most of our forces on in. Since this does appear to be mostly a large choke point battle, perhaps I should change up the forces to be a little bit better suited for that. We'll also move up the Tomb Scorpion into Group 1 here. Alright. So our Casket of Souls will begin a few volleys, which should hopefully mess up their forces a little bit. And they are coming to attack us. Good. Carrion, move on across the ravine there. Now you will see in my compliments in Anubis's forces, we have a Lich Priest of Death, a Necrotect, and a Tomb Prince. Those were the available forces from the last episode. So they'll hopefully be giving us a little bit of a boost. You'll see on the Tomb Prince that he does have a Guardian ability, which gives a physical resistance to lords and heroes. So actually, you know what? It might be good to actually position him to be a little closer. Alright, Carrion, move on against those bolt throwers.
I am reborn. To king. Legions forward. For Nehekhara. To king. Ash denied. I obey. To king.
Alright, let's begin to move up our forces a little bit here. And it looks like their Thane came over to provide defense. Carrion, fall back. You've done enough damage, I think. Actually, we might lose our Carrion there. Oh well. Let's begin the assault. Ushabti, you head on in. And head for their quarrelers. Same thing with the Tomb Scorpion.
Curse them all. Tomb Prince. Sacrifice them. Norton's far. Walk in the black. Mortuary gold. Do not shame your ancestors. Let no one survive. Son of Henry. Nag Shakur. Perish. Black Prince. Agreed. Scion of Nehekhara.
Another group of Ushapti. Let's send them in and break the rest of their lines that are in the back that are attempting to reform.
Bow to me.
A lot of their forces seem to be reforming here. A shame.
Helm of Zone. Perish. Master Sculptor. Tomb Prince. Soul Wind. I shall build. Soft Noctar. Necrotect! Move slaves! Talion Lord!
And we have defeated the Dwarven forces. Very good. Very good. Anubis's forces have taken quite a beating, though Arkan's is relatively intact. Alright. And at last we begin our assault to take the 7th Book of Nagash. We have a good assortment of forces here, and hopefully our towers will be able to reach and eventually take out these dwarven forces. Alright, let's set up our forces. As you can see, we are in an underground battle here, which will be interesting to see how everything goes.
Tomb Prince! Come, undead slaves! Tomb King! What, my king?
Alright, the first group is ready to go. Let's form them up. And let's begin the battle. Alright, our first group of Crypt Ghouls are about to begin their attack. Now the Crypt Ghouls, since they are weak against armor, may not do so well. But then again, neither will our Skeleton Warriors. But if I can get my Nehekhara warriors close up, we might be able to do something. And the battering ram is gradually making its way over there. Alright, we're gonna put together our Shopti, our Tomb Scorpion, and then our Necrotect here into group 4. Get them all together. And they'll be sort of our assault force once we actually begin the full-on attack there. Alright, it looks like it is getting close to falling, so let's send on our little construct force here. Alright, move against the Lord there. And let's send in another hit of Spirit Leech. Well, that Dwarven Lord is definitely being pushed around a lot.
Vengeance for Nagash.
Alright, so we can bring in more Shopti. Let's see, the Lord is finished. We have a little force that's moving over here. Let's bring in the Shopti there to take them out.
Not a servant.
And that is the end for these dwarves. We shall sack the settlement, and then we shall take it, and finally have the first of the Nagash books that we need.
The first book found. A Codex Mortifica. The pages within seeped in dark magic. The hieroglyphs match those upon the pillar. Illuminating our progress.
Well, now, that is very interesting indeed. Alright. So the Greybeards are no more. No longer something for us to be concerned about. So where do we turn our eyes next? Well, if we look at the Books of Nagash that are available, there are several to the south, and one all the way to the east as well. So to the south, we have one book, the 5th Book of Nagash. It is under a rogue army, and it provides very nice. It increases army capacity, as well as unit capacity for Tomb Guard, their halberds, and skeleton chariots. Very nice. The other book to the south, the 1st Book of Nagash, increases hero capacity for all heroes, decreases their cost, and increases their chance of success. Then the one to the east increases Lord Recruit rank, generates 250 canopic jars, as well as reducing our recovery time by 1. I think the next one we will go for is this 5th Book of Nagash, under the Dwellers of Zardok. But for the time being, we need to consolidate some of our control, which means eliminating the pools of despair here and taking back Arkan's Black Tower. So let us do that. And here we are once again fighting the Bretonnians. So this time against Thegan's errantry, but this is, I believe, the last location that they have. They do have a full army here though, as well as a garrison of 8 units. So it'll be an interesting battle, but I believe we shall do fine. So let's start it. Send in our force right up to the gates. And let's see if the Casket of Souls can do any damage to some of those towers. Now we're starting off with Arkan's army, since he did have the siege equipment in the Casket of Souls. Anubis is coming in from the other side, so hopefully he'll be able to get his forces into the towers. Although it's already starting to say victories in our grasp, so that's encouraging. Okay, come on, Casket of Souls. Get into the right positioning here. Now we've upgraded our forces since our previous battle. In this force, they actually have quite a few upgrades. We have a couple groups of Tomb Guard, one group of Tomb Guard halberds, another set of Ushabti, as well as some Ushabti great bows. So the great bows should be pretty useful, especially given their range. So I'm actually going to see if I can't set them up somewhere around here. Try and take on some of these units. Alright, send the Tomb Scorpion as well as the Crypt Ghouls against the gatehouse itself. Arkin. Let's see if we can't actually attack their lord there. In the meanwhile, set up your little shield for us. Alright, Ushabti, let's see if you can't hit some of those guys up there. I will say the regular Ushabti are actually pretty good against the gates. They're draining it relatively quickly here. And can those Great Bows actually attack fort towers? If they can, that would be totally awesome. Oh my god, they can. Oh, that's sweet. Alright. Send you guys on in. You guys head up to the towers. So how are they doing against that tower? So it's at 32. They're firing their next salvo. So individually, they're not too great against those fort towers. But I imagine if you brought in a good group of them, that you could actually do pretty well.
I am reborn. Curse them! Not protect! That's good! Curse them all! Petra agrees! The cult agrees! I am reborn. Destroy! Nothing is lost! Tomb King! We march! Varjag!
And I believe we are nearly to the point of the Bretonnians completely breaking here.
The dead do not rest! Ashraf's magic! Incantation of power!
And so much for these Bretonnians. And with the fall of Thegan's errantry, we come one step closer towards Arkan's tower. But that will be all for today. So, the big question, what roles will be available in the next episode? Well, we currently have a lord, a special lord of the Wakaf First Dynasty, who has a bonus to charge to a lord's range, or his army's range, an increased ambush success chance, as well as an increase to melee attack. And even more interesting is he can stalk. So, our first lord will be available for those interested. As for heroes, we don't have any tomb priests nor necrotext available for this turn, but due to Arkan's particular abilities, we do have 2 Lich priests available. Again, of the Death, Light, and Nehekhara lores of magic. So if you are interested in any of these roles, whether the lords or the Lich priests, leave a comment below. Let me know what lore you want as far as Lich priests go, or if you want the lord itself. And most importantly, give me a name for him. Whether it's your name, some wacky name, so long as it's relatively appropriate. And we shall see you next time, my minions.